In this video, we're going to be reviewing how to solve complex equations. So when I look at this problem, what's my goal when solving equations? To get 1x by itself. So in order to do that, what can I do first in this equation? I need to simplify. Is there anything I can simplify on this side of the equation? No, so I need to further simplify this side of the equation. I'm going to start by distributing my 4. When I distribute my 4, I multiply 4 times x. Then do I leave? Is that what I do? No, what's wrong with that? I need to distribute the 4 to the 2 as well. 4 times 2 is 8. Keep the rest of this side of the equation and copy the rest. So write this first equation where it says equation 1 and then start solving it with me. All right. Now I can further simplify this 2 equation by combining 2 of these terms. Which 2 terms are like terms? The 8 and the 3. So I can make this 4x plus 11 equals 4x plus 11. All right, what does it mean when I have an equation that ends up looking like this? If you already know the answer, go ahead and select it. Is it going to be one solution, no solution, or infinite solution? In case you're still stuck, we'll continue solving it. So if I get rid of my 4x's on both sides, I end up with 11 equals 11. Is that ever not true? No, 11 is always going to equal 11. So no matter what value we put in place for x, whether that's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you'll always end up with 4 times that value plus 11 equals 4 times that value plus 11. So the answer is infinite solutions. Moving on to the second equation where it says equation 2, write down this equation. Let's look at this equation again to see where we can dive into. Can this side of the equation, this side of the equal side, be simplified anymore? Yeah, it can. How about that side? Can that side of the equation be simplified anymore? No, because they are what? Unlike terms. So I can simplify this equation by distributing. So if I multiply 5 times 2x, that'll be 10x. What sign do I put after the 10x? I keep my sign, so it'll be a subtraction. I keep that sign because I have no sign in front of it telling me, in front of the 5 telling me to change it. And then I keep my, oops, is that correct? No, I forgot to distribute the 5 to make this 15. And then I keep the rest of the equation the same. Now, how can I further simplify this side of the equation? I can combine my 2 like terms, my 2 constants. I need to look at the sign in front of the 15, so it's negative 15 plus 3, or minus 15 plus 3. What will I end up with? I'll end up with 10x minus 12 equals 10x minus 18. Does anybody know what type of equation this is? One solution, no solution, or infinite solution? Let's continue solving to check. So if I subtract my 10x from both sides, because I want to get x by itself, but now both cancel out by becoming 0, so I'm just left up with negative 12 equals negative 18. Does negative 12 ever equal negative 18? No. So the answer is no solution. No value of x will make 10x minus 12 equal to 10x minus 18. Under equation 3, write this next equation. All right, so now I can simplify both sides of the equation. So this equation is getting a little trickier. But let's start by just looking at the left side of the equation and see how we can simplify this further. I need to start with my distribution right here. But instead of 2 terms in the parentheses, I have 3 terms. What can I do first to make this easier to distribute? Do you see anything inside of the parentheses that you can do? I can combine my 2 like terms. So now if I combine my x and my 3x, what will I end up with? 4x. I'll end up with 4x plus 4, and everything else has stayed the same. Now that I've simplified inside the parentheses, I can distribute. So I'll do 4 times 4x, keep my sign, and then 4 times 4, which is 16. Keep the rest of the equation exactly the same. I want you guys writing out all of your steps so we can see where we're making the errors. Now I can further simplify this by doing what? Combining my like terms. Plus 16 minus 2. 16 minus 2 is 14, so it'll be 16x plus 14 equals, how can I simplify this? Or let's leave it, copy it down exactly the same way. Now, can I simplify this left side of the equation anymore? No, so what can I do with this side of the equation to simplify it? I can distribute. So I have 16x plus 14 equals 12x minus 24. I'm going to copy this down up top. So I have 16x plus 14 equals 12x minus 24. All right, now remind me, what's my goal when solving equations? Is to get one x by itself. So I need to bring the x's over. Do I want to move my bigger x's or my smaller x's? Do I want to get rid of my 16x on this side of the equation or my 12x on that side of the equation? I want to move my smaller x's. So I'll subtract 12x on both sides of the equation, making sure that I'm subtracting it from the like term. Keep my equal sign. On this side of the equation, I have 16x minus 12x, which equals what? 4x plus 14. On this side of the equation, what happens when I have 12x minus 12x? It becomes 0, so I'm just left with minus 24. Now that we're at two-step equations, we're really good with it. I'm trying to get x by itself, so what can I do next? Subtract 14, subtract 14. I'm left with just 4x. 14 minus 14 becomes what? 0. And then I'm left with negative 24 minus 14. Change this into an addition problem. So when you have subtraction, you can change that into negative 24 plus negative 14. Now you're adding with the same sign. So do you add or subtract these two numbers? You're going to add them, so it'll be 38. And then is this going to be positive 38 or negative 38? Negative 38. So 4x equals negative 38. And my last step, I'd divide this by 4. I'll end up with x equals negative 38 over 4. I'll let you guys divide that on your own. All right, so now at this point, I want you guys to pause the video, give the challenge problem a try, and then I'm going to quickly go through the answers. But I want you all trying it on your own first. All right, so we have two rectangles, and we know that areas are the same. The width of the first one is 3, and the length is this. The width of the second one is 6, and the length of the second one is this. I labeled them W1, L1, W2, L2. So looking at width and length, first I see this length, it is really complicated, and I know that if I can simplify this. So I can distribute my 4. You'll end up with 4x plus 8 minus 2x. Next, I can combine my like terms, so it'll be 2x plus 8. So the length of the first first rectangle simplified is 2x plus 8. Okay, now if we look at the second one, I can do the same thing. If I distribute, it'll be 9x plus 18 minus 8x minus 14. If I simplify that, I'll have 9x minus 8x, which is just x, plus 18 minus 14, which is 4. So the length of the second one is just x plus 4. Now this is a little bit easier. The problem is telling us that the area of the two rectangles are the same. So how can I write the area of this rectangle? So the area of rectangle 1 equals 3 times 2x plus 8. Because we're doing the length times the width or the width times the length. It's the same thing whether you flip it around. The area of rectangle 2 equals 6 times x plus 4, because it's just the same thing. We're multiplying the width and the length. We know that A1, the area for the first rectangle, equals A2. So that's telling us that 3 times 2x plus 8 equals 6 times x plus 4. Now, if you didn't get it the first time, try again to solve this equation, knowing what we just did. Once you're done with that, go ahead and solve the rest of the problems. There's another really tricky challenge problem on the back. Show me, if you got it correct, you'll get a +5. And then lastly, there are 2 problems at the bottom of the back page that will be graded, so make sure you get to them. Good luck.